Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today, my mother-in-law and nieces join me in the kitchen to bake a family favorite, Kolachi cookies. But first, the amazing work Heather and Cameron do at Birds in Flight Sanctuary, a wildlife rescue. We're at a Birds in Flight Sanctuary out here in Canfield, and Heather and her son Cameron run, I don't even know what to call it. I guess it is a sanctuary, but it is so much more. And they have got all these educational buildings and more coming where they are holding these poor animals, these poor mainly birds, that are unable to go back into the wild.
Correct.
So right now we're with Emma, the barred owl, and this has been a really long, strange trip, hasn't it?
It has been a very long trip.
Now, when did this begin?
1991.
And you used to be with a zoo?
I worked with a zoo to raise lions and tigers.
And how did the birds come into
My neighbor called.
your sanctuary?
My neighbor called and he had an injured great horned owl and asked me if I could come and get it.
You had no idea.
I had no
did you?
idea how to handle it. I didn't have any idea how to do anything. So I called Division of Wildlife. I called the game warden and he said there is nobody to do that. So we would, euthanize it. And I said, we don't do that. And he said, find your way. It started with those magic words, find your way.
Find your way. So what were you doing, going through books and trying to see, what did it have, a wounded wing?
It was just really sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up taking it up to another facility for a little bit. They let me come and get it, which I know now is illegal. But, and I let it go like 3 months later. I knew that my lions and tigers were going into a cage for the rest of their life.
Right.
And when I released that, it was like,
You found your calling.
I did.
Ah.
I was doing a lot of praying and a lot of soul searching at the time, and I felt like that was my cue to do wildlife.
So you come by this naturally.
Yeah, I was born.
I mean, you must love animals of all types as much as your mom.
Yeah, maybe more sometimes.
Really? Wow. There is something. As a little kid, what was your first memory of you and your mom rescuing these animals?
Ever since I can remember, there was animals. We've always been taking care of them.
So there are standards and practices that you must follow to be certified?
We hold many licenses right now, a lot of which are rehabilitation of different types of animals. There's certain categories, certain specialty licenses, falconry, which Heather holds. She does.
Really?
We use that permit for research on animals when we can, for like one-eyed animals. The educational aspect, which is the animals that is behind us, and the other animals that we have here for the public viewing. So there's a lot that we do.
A lot that is
There's
involved,
a lot.
except funding.
Correct.
The
That's
state
the big one.
And the feds aren't giving you any money.
No, they're
I mean, this is really your mission, but it's also all on donations. So what does Emma eat?
We try to stick to natural diet as much as
Right.
we can when it's available. We do feed a variety of things. Sometimes, depending on the animal, they will get live just to keep that prey drive going. Keep them
Exactly.
comfortable.
They're here
As-
forever if they can't go back into the
Correct.
wild.
So
you
we
know,
have
like Emma.
180 days from the time they come here. So every animal here is on paperwork. Every single one that comes through here, which is over 5,000 this year. So with those, we have 180 days from the time they come here to they're either released, they're euthanized, or they're put into education. At the end of 180 days, that's the law,
Right.
we have to make that decision. And sometimes we know right when they come. you
Yeah,
know,
that they're
that-
not going to get better.
Correct.
And, yeah, they can't
So we
live on
may
their
at that
own.
point start training them for education, but we don't take animals that are uncomfortable with education. I don't want them to be miserable here.
Right. Like
So-
on display and
Correct.
yeah.
So, that we may choose to euthanize the animal at that time.
So Raina is a red-tailed hawk, and she, of course, is also here for education because her broken wing could not be repaired properly to
Correct.
take flight. And I see a lot of hawks around my area, you know, Cooper hawks, the red-tailed hawk, and they'll swoop down and grab something and be gone. If those people are putting out poisoning in that for those kind of critters, what happens to that hawk that eats that possibly poisoned animal?
If they're the first ingester of it, so meaning that the mouse ate it, it died, and then the hawk or owl gets hold of it, they will most definitely die. They say it's about 15 animals that can die from just one mouse.
One ingestion. Wow.
Including endangered species.
What other kind of rescues have you had?
Squirrels, rabbits, chipmunks, fox, otter,
Otters.
flamingo.
You had a flamingo?
We did have a
No
flamingo.
way.
Yeah, we did.
What happened?
It escaped from a zoo and we ended up with it.
That is
From
nuts.
Canada, a zoo in Canada.
And you guys had it here.
We did.
How many acres do you have here to keep helping all these poor animals?
80.
So it's just could go on forever. It's endless.
We have some things in the work right now that'll be very beneficial to the public. We won't let an animal suffer. So if it's suffering, we will take it, but we do not normally take domestics.
Right.
But if it's in need, we will take it.
We used to take alligators quite a bit, though.
No way.
Yep. When the police would go in and there would be
Exotics.
that they would have to confiscate or something of the sort, we would take them. Because we had the
Snakes.
connections to get them to where they needed to go.
You know, what are your needs? All I can think about is the cost. You keep expanding and you want more education. You're a 501c3.
Yes.
And what are your needs? What are your immediate needs or your daily needs?
Do you want the list?
I need,
The revised.
I mean, can I have your
the
Christmas
revised
list for
version?
Santa Claus? Okay, grain and stuff is good. You know,
Grain
if you
is
could
good.
get those certain corn. But I mean, it has to be financial donations. You just really need the money.
And that's hard for people to understand, but when we're like right just today, I have to write a $10,000 check to get our day-old chickens here.
During the summer, we can have up to 300 birds of prey. Not just animals, no,
Jeez.
just birds of prey.
Because you cover 42 counties.
So a lot.
Use you. I mean, that's nuts.
We also take care of some counties in Pennsylvania, up to 13, depending on who's open and what's going on.
You have to look at birds in flight in two separate, you know, the rehabilitation, which is this and all of that, and then the education, which is all the education cages, the museum we want to build, the wetlands we're putting in, you know, all of that is.
Oh, don't forget about the beekeeping. It's overwhelming.
It is.
And for what you're doing, for all of the certification and all of the checks and balances, you have the trust
COVID
of
and-
everyone. You know,
yeah.
the government trusts you, everybody around here trusts you.
We try very, very hard. We do. We try very hard.
We don't ruffle feathers. We try to, we keep to ourselves.
I like it.
We don't.
Ruffle feathers.
No.
Oh,
No.
well, I really appreciate this.
Thank
And
you.
I really, you know, donations are needed. So I would like to see, you know, your sanctuary continue to grow. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
We are getting close. Scabbard Camp is almost here. A year-round destination for adults with disabilities and their families to get away, close to home. Accessible to all, with no barriers. Donate now to Scabbard Camp. Help others to enjoy this unique recreational destination. For adults with disabilities and their families to enjoy an accessible camping experience. Donate to Scabbard Camp. Giving is living.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old World Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
The Komara Jewelers Snowfall promotion is back. If it snows 4 inches or more on Christmas Day, anything you buy between December 4th and December 17th is free. So if you're already planning on buying something special, be sure to stop by December 4th through December 17th, where just 4 inches of snow or more on Christmas Day will get your money back and your jewelry free.
And yes, snow dances are allowed. Brianna's been doing hers all week.
Get real, get Komara.
Locally sourced is good, whether it's ingredients or a bank, and that's why my bank is Farmers National Bank. Since 1887, Farmers has remained rock solid through every economic condition. Having a bank with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management is a must. It all boils down to this. You need a bank that will help you reach your goals. I do too, and Farmers is mine. Farmers National Bank, rock solid.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, this segment has been a long time in the making. I am going to be joined by my mother-in-law, Marianne, and my nieces, Megan, Marianne, and Maeve. And we have been talking about making Marianne's Kolachi cookies, and we just never got together. And finally, you know, Megan's home from college, so we're all able to be together to make these cookies. And I do think, Marianne, that I think these are your best.
Okay, well,
I mean, you make a lot of good
recipe.
stuff, but I think
you.
this is good. These are Grandma Ann's.
Yes.
And that's been passed down to you.
Right.
And this is where she shines in her baking. This is my favorite thing that she makes. Now, you can fill them with apricot,
Yes.
but we're not. We're filling ours with nut today because we're all a little nuts. And all the girls always go over to Grandma's and help her make these for weddings and Christmas and all the different special occasions. So they're all going to be taking turns making these cookies, and at each and every step. A lot of stuff going on here. I'm not going to go over the ingredients, but this recipe will be on my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com. And we should get started, right?
Now the first thing you're going to do is put the milk in. Okay, just put it 3/4 of a cup into the pot. Now we're going to watch. When you see the little bubbles coming around the side, then we'll crumble the yeast. And there it is. It's ready.
Okay.
Okay, now, so what I want you to do is crumble it in. I'm going to shut this off now, I think. Ooh, wrong way. Okay, crumble it in. Now, what else do you have over there to put in?
Sugar.
Okay, sprinkle it around. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to put that right into the oven. You don't have to worry about it at all. You just put it into the oven, which will open the door. Okay. Put it in. Well, let's put it in the box.
Okay.
Yeah, so we could see what's going on if we have to look. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to turn the oven down to just warm.
So now the
mixture.
yeast is rising, the mixture we just made, and we're keeping that warm in the oven. So now we're going to get going with the batter.
Okay.
We have 1 pound, 4 sticks
Correct.
of softened, unsalted butter.
Right.
So we put this in. And Marianne, I don't know if you noticed, but this is your old KitchenAid that you gave me. And I love it.
Oh,
you cannot
good.
believe how much I use it. I never thought I needed one, didn't register for one, and now I use it all the time. I love it.
Oh.
Okay, so what do we want this on? What do you
Well-
think, Maeve?
I'd
Maeve?
say 1 and 2.
Between 1 and
Yeah.
2, like that?
That's good. That's good.
And then we're just looking for this to get creamy.
Right.
All right.
And you know what? I'm going to
Ooh,
look.
I better lock it. See, this puppy's jumping. All right.
Go
Now, does
ahead.
that look creamy enough, Mary?
Yes, it does.
All right, so I think it's good to keep it off before adding the flour, because you can get that flour puff, you know?
Yep.
I agree.
So then, all right,
Go
dump
ahead.
it in, Maeve.
That's good. That's good. You don't.
1 cup at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
1 cup.
Then we put in an egg.
Yeah.
1 egg.
Can
So
you
grab out a yolk.
get
one
one
yolk.
One yolk in there. Oh, just go close and try to. Can you balance? Kind of turn it so you could just put one in at a time. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's all right. Good.
Oh, I got it.
Now I'm going to turn this down, and I will remember to pull this up. And what we're going to do is we're going to knock this And then get ready with the next cup
Get
of
the next
flour.
cup ready. Here, you know what? I'll assist you.
Okay, but fortunately, she has them all in one bowl, and boy, is that good, because you don't forget how many you put in, especially if the phone rings and you start talking.
We can remember.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
I'm going
younger.
to give you a
can
little
remember.
secret, Marianne, that I did. I sifted the flour.
Oh.
Even though you don't need to, I did, because I think
Oh.
it makes for a lighter cookie. Little tip for me.
Okay,
I
wait.
don't know if it's going to make a difference.
Go
We'll
ahead.
see.
Yes.
End result.
Whoops, you got.
All right, good job. That's okay. It's a kitchen.
That's all right.
And then we're going to put it back on.
Yeah, we could put the egg in there at the same time.
I broke one of the yolks.
Yeah.
FYI.
Go ahead. Got it? Just
There
one.
you go. All right, there
Okay.
you go. Good job, girl.
Okay, here you go.
All right, here we go.
And now we're gonna, I put it on 2. Yeah, see, it's mixing well.
Yep.
Okay, now the next thing we're gonna do when we stop this is we're gonna
Check
change
on.
the oven. Okay, it's doing well. So now why don't you do the sides?
Out of the oven and into the batter. This is what we had in the oven. It's the sugar, the yeast, and the
milk.
Warmed
Oh
milk.
boy, and of course I
Okay.
got it turned the wrong way, right?
There we go. And then
You
should we
get-
scrape that stuff out?
Yes, scrape it out.
All right.
Okay,
This is what I'm scraping out. There you go.
right.
It's very
good.
attractive.
Very
Okay. There you go. One more. There we go.
Okay, now you
All
put
right.
in the rest of the flour.
Okay.
Perfect.
Should we walk it?
No, because it's going to get all together. Now
Well,
everything is going to come
You
together.
gotta let it all see. It's picking it up from the bottom and
Yep,
everything.
and see, there will be no dough on the bottom because it's all going to.
No dough left behind.
That's called
Ghost.
mistake.
We'll be right back to finish up the kolache cookies after this. We'll be right back with more local flavor.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
We welcome you to experience the wonder and merriment of the season at the Arms Family Museum for memories of Christmas past, a Mahoning Valley tradition.
The perfect gift. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, the best food in the valley. For every $50 you spend on gift cards, you get a free $10 bonus card. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, Route 224 in Boardman, and their new location on Route 46 in Howland. The Boardman, Texas Roadhouse has teamed up with GabaCamp to host a dine and donate to benefit those with special needs.
We love the Boardman, Texas Roadhouse. Thank you.
Giving
is living.
Okay, so now, Marianne, before we get the dough rolled, we gotta get the filling ready. So this is 1 pound of finely ground walnuts, and then we put a cup of sugar in with it while we ground them. So now, I love my immersion blender. You know how I talk about this thing all the time. Just stick it straight in and wait till you see how it froths these egg whites.
Okay.
Go ahead.
A nice whipped consistency.
Wow.
Now, these are nice and foamy egg whites. We used about 3.
Right.
You know, from the 4 yolks we had earlier. So what do we do? Just
Yeah, mix it all together. Put them in nice and slow. Yeah, you just put them in, and then make sure you clean out the.
get all the extra stuff in
Yeah,
there,
you know,
Marianne.
we don't-
Well,
but-
it does look like it is really loosening up.
Yes.
But
Now
that's
we
not-
have to have it a little. So we're going to add like
Here you go.
a little bit at a time. Okay. Okay. I'm going to just add a little.
So you're adding just like a tablespoon at a time.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say.
Oh, that's looking
So
good.
you could see how it's.
How's your arm doing there, Marianne?
It's fine.
All right.
Okay.
I know she took a beating.
Now it's almost spreadable. So what we have to do now, somebody's got to taste the nuts and make sure they're
Uh-oh. Who's tasting the nuts? Here's a couple spoons. Are these to your liking?
not. All right, just tell
Grandma,
me
what
if
do
you need
you
a little bit of
think?
sugar. A little bit of sugar?
What do you think? Sweet enough or a little more sweetness?
I think they're pretty sweet.
I
All
guess.
right. And what would you like? Do you feel left out, Meg?
You want to try?
Do you
Megan?
want to try it?
Sure.
Okay, we don't want her to feel left out. No, I think you use that one. We got to,
Oh,
clean spoons. We don't want to contaminate everybody.
all right.
All right.
Looking good?
Here we go.
Delicious.
Okay.
Now we're going to use the sugar. Sprinkle the board with sugar. And now we're going to make little balls. How big are the balls?
Like size of a walnut. Yeah.
A little bit smaller than a
Just
walnut.
about.
Right. That's all right. Just roll them up.
And you can just
That's the one thing,
take
you
it
know.
off and
That's right.
you roll.
Okay. Now the rollers can get started.
Oh.
Now,
Thank you.
because I forgot the the rolling pins at home. And
So you just take the cup.
We're using champagne glasses.
Yeah.
okay.
And you just roll it a little this way. Switch the side. This way. And just do that until.
Okay, that's big enough. Yeah. Good. Good.
Then you take the nut. Use your spoon. Yeah.
Okay.
Place it. Spread it. Not too much filling. Oh,
But enough.
Yeah, enough.
You don't want to eyebrow pencil the filling.
Please don't be stingy with the nuts. I hate when I get a kolache that's stingy.
You sound
All
like
right.
you sound like my dad.
Okay, don't be stingy.
Yeah.
But I see you don't want them falling out the sides either. There's a
Okay, put a
perfect
little
mixture.
bit more. Okay, very good.
Then you just take it with your thumbs and roll it up.
Good. Go ahead. Very good. And put them.
And then do you seal the ends?
No.
No, we don't.
No, we don't seal them. That's why we.
Okay.
You'll wait a minute. You
Well, we
still
need
have
the
to put
sugar.
more sugar on. Remember?
Dude.
And that's why I tell them to use 10 at a time, and then we sugar them up like so, just a little bit on top. And then you put.
Like so.
Whoa.
Oh, the glass. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. And that's how they're going to be on the. Okay. Talk about bending.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
So
And
it's 350. What do you
and
want? I'll set the
350.
timer. What? Start looking at 10?
at 10 minutes, yeah, and we could see they got a nice window so we could check because every oven is different.
girls, you really know what you're doing when it comes to rolling in the sugar. Everybody but Megan, that is. I think, I don't know, Marianne, who is the top cookie maker?
Me.
Marianne, little Marianne is the best cookie maker that has been declared by Big Marianne. So we made the nut, but you can also get different fillings. You know, there's apricot or, you know, whatever. But I'm telling you, this, it's a little bit of work, but it is worth it. It really is good. And Marianne, this is something we look forward to for all occasions. And I'll give you her number if you'd like her to bake for your wedding. But no, this recipe will be on my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and we'll have all the instructions and all the ingredients and all of the measurements. And thanks, girls. What do you think?
That's great.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Cat's
Thank
got your
you.
tongue. We finally got this done. We've been talking about this for years. So let's give a cheers to Grandma.
Oh,
Grandma, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Thank you.
For more information, visit us on our website at CaseyMaloneShow.com.
To Grandma.
Oh,
Grandma, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Thank you.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.
Mm-hmm.